offensive to some people and inappropriate for children. Still here? Then pour your favorite beverage and let's get this fucking show started.
Fantastic Forum, assemble! You're watching Fantastic Forum, the premier show about comic books and your live weekly conversation about entertainment and geek culture. We are the Fantastic Forum, coming to you live and direct from the Hall of F. Hope you're having a wonderful morning, afternoon, evening, or night, as the case may be, depending on where you are in the world. And if you're not, you should stick with us. We'll help you take it up a notch. You have the usual suspects in the building. First, he is a riddle inside of an enigma trapped in Chinese finger cuffs. You don't know him. You love him anyway. He's our silent assassin, Jay.
Hey, what's up?
What's up indeed, Jay? Good to see you. Next, he's the backbone, the pillar, the strength of Fantastic Forum, our nigh invulnerable brawler and resident strongman, Moses.
Jay puts the ass in assassin.
Wow. Okay. No, I don't know if Jay knew that about himself, but I'm glad you pointed it out for those that didn't know. Look, as for myself, my name is Lawrence Young. They call me Mayor Young. Welcome to Fantastic Forum. Oh, wait a minute, good people. Look who snuck in the back door. Well. Look who it is. Oh, no. Oz, did you get robbed?
Oh, my bad. There.
Wait. What?
Hey, you know, like I always say, bitches, am I right?
Oh, jeez. I don't know what that means, but
she's a supermodel. I don't know what they expected me to do or not do.
You got kicked out.
No, we're in the process of buying another place, so everything's boxed up right now.
Oh, good for you all. Okay, cool. Well, listen, ladies and gentlemen, it's our intrepid senior reporter. He is our resident Dark Knight detective. It's Oz.
Yay!
He's also
how much of a pain in the ass was it to like box everything back up that you unboxed and videotape?
I am not done. There's 6 boxes for 3 statues.
Damn.
You need 6 boxes for 3 statues, you said?
Yeah. The
like, you're gonna take them apart again?
Yes.
Oh, jeez.
And they're not light.
You know what you got to do? You got to do a time lapse of like you setting up the new room.
I should have done some video of like putting all that stuff back, but
yeah,
everything's like such a mess everywhere.
And then you got to edit everything.
I'm sitting here looking. I just like you coming on the screen. I was just like, what happened to Oz's place? Like what? The studio? No, I was like, man, I'm like Oz has had to liquidate all that stuff. It's like it's hard out there.
And he lives away from his friends that could help him in a situation like this. Like if he lived here, I could go there and just film him doing everything, and that way he wouldn't have to worry about the time lapse.
I like that he said just film.
Right. He's not gonna help you pack. You just go make sure it's all set up right. He's like, okay, cool.
Shot, right? Yeah. I'm the star.
Yeah. So I just have to, do the settings and say, go, all right, I'll see you. I'll come back in an hour.
Too funny, man. Too funny. But okay, cool, man.
I feel naked, but it matches our intro video now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Look, we probably need to do a new intro video next time we're all together.
Oh, when I set up a new one and haven't put anything on the wall, so you can do that again for another year.
Exactly. But no, man. So
I really want to put that like tile of badass Jay in the.
Hey, we can do it. We should still do that. Jay, Jay, I don't know if you realize this. You don't have an opinion. You don't have a vote in this thing. Nobody else got to vote what was part of the intro.
It's like Lawrence watching scary stuff. It's just gonna happen.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
I didn't pick that. No, what do you think I picked that to be in the intro? You think I did that?
I do.
Oh, well, you would be wrong, friend. You'd be wrong. And see, the only reason you weren't in the intro in the first place is because you're usually the one holding the camera, goddamn. At least back then. That was the only reason. Now we got footage of you.
Yeah.
If anything, you should do my interview with the Princeless.
No, we should do Badass Jay.
No, because I didn't have anything to do with that, though.
You didn't have
That's
anything
not
to do
me
with being Badass Jay?
No,
Yes, you did.
that's just voyeur shit.
And the girls were leaving, like you were done with them.
That's
that's
the perfect thing for you.
being a
Voyeur shit. That's your whole brand, Jay.
No, I'm not a voyeur.
I wasn't being a
That's not
voyeur.
my brand.
I was getting B-roll of Jay.
Oh man.
It just
So
so
anyway.
happened that he was like he walked away from
I
us.
just want it to be something that I do,
Okay.
like that interview or something else.
You know what? How I really got that video, Jay, was you but you walked far ahead of us. It's like, where's Jay? And I go, I'll find him right now. And I just use my zoom lens to find you. And then I'm like, oh man, if I just put some music and do this on at a different frame rate, it'll look badass. And it did.
It did. So okay, so it's settled. Badass Jay, got it.
No.
We got a great show for you today. We are going to be talking.
Sorry.
What?
I was gonna say we'll do his tile how he wants it, but in the intro music you're gonna see Badass Jay too.
I guess I don't know. I think we should just do what he doesn't want.
Have the tile.
We got a great show for you today. We're going to be reviewing Gotham City Sirens, the latest miniseries that stars Catwoman, Poison Ivy, and Harley Quinn. That came out just like about a month ago. So we're going to talk about that, and we'll bring you some of the latest and greatest in comic book news. And of course, we'll talk about whatever else it is that you all want to talk about in just a moment. And we'll tell you how it is that you can do that. But before we do, we want to make sure that we thank Mr. Scott Rubin, because without him, the show would not exist. So thank you, Scott Rubin. Hope all is well, good sir. And with that said, let's go ahead and have the intern do what the intern does.
Want to get in on the action? Call Fantastic Forum on Skype and join the fun. Too shy to call in? That's okay. You can join the Discord chat room available at
fantasticforum.live.
Join the party. You know you want to.
Yes, you want to indeed. So please do what the intern says. If you'd like to join the show, if you want to call in, go to fantasticforum.live. We have a call-in button there that you can use, or you can always jump into chat, whether that be through Twitch or through YouTube. We'll take your comments directly out of chat and bring them into the shows, such as insert witty chat comment here, please, Jay.
Taken Tugboat says, yeah, what happened to Oz's spot? Looks like it was part of those business rates a couple years ago.
Dang. You look like you got looted in California.
Earlier, you asked me how much of a pain it was to box everything up. I actually had to go back to the old videos of when I unboxed them, because I take a picture of what it looks like in the box, and that helped a lot. Because now I know how to orient it and all that. So that's a service I provide to you guys.
There it is.
Tiger Claw says, did you guys watch Beetlejuice?
I did.
Yes. Me
too.
I did too. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
We all watched Beetlejuice?
Yeah.
What wasn't it the topic for today?
I didn't think anybody would want to talk about it.
I mean, it's not really comic related, right?
I thought it was just a little bit out of our, out of our wheelhouse, but
yeah. I mean, listen, it's definitely like pop culture, but it's not like quite comic related. But I would be interested to hear what everybody's like experience and opinion of it was, just out of curiosity, like, which Tiger Claw wants to know too, so that's always an added benefit as well. but Mo, what did you think, man? Did you like Beetlejuice?
Yeah, I liked it. It was like cool. It's just another story, a next generation of it, and like you explore a little more of that underworld that you didn't get in the first one, so I enjoy that. And then I was a fan of the cartoon, so seeing like the differences in how they express that underworld compared to this one, and not just differences but just the similarities too, was kind of cool. The weird thing was that story with the like succubus lady or whatever.
Yeah.
But it like I don't feel like it really had an arc, but it was just a line through everything, connecting everything, I guess, and it just played off how it played off, and in true Tim Burton fashion, it did what it did, you know.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. What about you, Oz? What'd you think?
Overall, I liked it. I enjoyed it. I'm glad I watched it. A little bit long, and
Mm.
there's just a lot of things that like it feels like they gave Tim Burton 3 or 4 ideas, and he said yes.
Right. I hear that.
Like the succubus thing or whatever they call her,
Yeah,
was interesting, but it goes nowhere.
right.
The boyfriend was interesting, and you know it just the way it resolves is a little weird, and like everything just kind of like ends.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and some scenes just go a little bit longer. Like, let's see, without spoiling, when you hear a song that they, you know, that what do you call it? They paid for,
Mm-hmm.
you know, an actual song, not just the soundtrack. Like, we don't need to hear the whole song. The first one, did we ever get like the full Deo, like from start to finish?
It might been if it's not the whole song, I think it is kind of the majority, but it's executed better.
Yeah.
Like it definitely doesn't feel like the whole song. It's probably it might be the same amount of time, honestly.
There's one song that just felt like it was the whole thing.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
I mean, they do like interesting things here and there, but it still like just feels like it goes on forever.
Mm-hmm.
But overall, I enjoyed it. It was great.
What? Okay. What about you, Jay?
I feel similar. Like it was good and I enjoyed it, but it was definitely muddled.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like the ex-wife goes nowhere. And everything is resolved like super easily, it seems.
Mm-hmm.
But overall, I think I did enjoy it. Like
Mm-hmm.
watching the characters and seeing them like do stuff. But it was definitely not as solid of a movie as the first one.
Oh yeah, I agree with you on that.
It is interesting to see with now in that we live in the future with better effects. You know,
Mm-hmm.
they still do the stop motion stuff and animation, but it's still like it looks better, like in high quality,
Mm-hmm.
and that I
Right.
like that how they use that. They still did stuff in the old school way, like in the first one, but with better technology.
Mm-hmm.
And that like they creatively got rid of the dad because you know he's a pedophile.
They showed him a little much though. Like they still had his image.
Yeah. But I guess they kind of in a way they kind of have to, but I don't know if they have to pay him.
Yeah. I mean, I will agree with you though. I think
I
the
was
way that
wondering
they
why they did that.
the way they handled that I thought was pretty good.
He was convicted, right? He wasn't.
Yeah. Like I think he's still in jail. Like I don't think, or he died or something. But yeah, he definitely like nobody wanted to work with him again.
Mm-hmm. You know, I will say that I would say overall I enjoyed it as well, but man, I tell you, like I really disliked the ending. I was just like, oh god, like why? Like it literally kind of just stops, and I'm like, that's weird. Like that's weird, and I think all of your takes are all like spot on, like all the criticisms, and it's just unfortunate because it does feel like they might have realized that some of this stuff wasn't working, but they're like, if we take this out, then we got to take that out, and then if we take that out, we have to take this out, and then we don't have a movie. Like I feel like they might have, because like the ex-wife thing was just so weird because it was just like,
I think
it was kind of pointless.
I think they could have, instead of the ex-wife, focused on the relationship of the daughter with the dad, and at the same time the with the new boyfriend, and that's a good way to like clash and go into Beetlejuice's world, and you resolve like several different of the conflicts in that world.
Mm-hmm.
Because
And
the dad, like, he shows up for a little bit, and like I didn't really care. Like, it's like, you know, I don't know anything about this dude other than he died while homegirl was like 10 or something.
And it's so wild because nobody ever asked him, like, hey, what happened? You know, like, which
Yeah, I was wondering, like, when homegirl couldn't see him, I thought, well, he's probably not dead. He probably just left, and she's been hiding it. Like, in my head, I had more plot than this movie.
100%. Right. I'm like, oh, we're seeing the dad. I'm like, he's gonna tell us. Like, and I feel like he did mention a little something.
He looked in on them, which made it even worse because now, well, okay, so he did show up.
Yeah,
like, it's not like he was trapped or he couldn't go up there. He did show up, and then, but she's, you know, couldn't see him for what it.
Right. And they don't tell us why. I don't think. Which I'm just like, that's weird. And then on top of that, I'm just like, I feel like the first thing you ask when you see your dead, like, husband or parent that you're like just disappeared, you don't, dude, so good to see you. What happened? You know, and then obviously he got like fell into the river or something, but what happened? It's like, what? They're just like, nobody wanted to ask that question. Tiger Claw says, oh, go ahead.
Yeah, Tiger Claw says, I like the Willem Dafoe character. He was cool. He plays a ghost detective, but he's an actor that played a detective. And yeah, I really like his design, like the look of him and everything, and then he played the part well. He's always a good, like, you know, Boondock Saints and all those. Like, he always plays a good, like, hard-boiled detective type.
I don't think I ever saw him actually drink the coffee,
which was hilarious.
That's because he's an
and that woman just would show up every so often. I'm like, that's so funny. Like, no matter where he was, it was good. That was good. But again, it's one of those things where, like, I know in my mind, I'm like, yeah, maybe we don't need the ex-wife. But then if you take out the ex-wife, then you have to get rid of all of William Dafoe. Yeah. That's the only reason he's there.
He could be. And it's also when they bring Jenna Ortega into that world, he can be hunting them down like she's not supposed to be here. We have live people, which is what he does. If there's live people in the land of the dead, they're not supposed to be here.
Yeah, but she's not. She was fine to be there. It was her mom.
That same was the thing. Issue. Either way, that's, you know, you bring them in.
Yeah, that's true. We could have tweaked that story. I don't know. It really does feel like they were like, this is what we got.
I feel like this
is the movie that should have had the reshoots.
Whole trilogy.
You know, they probably cut it down because it was too long, and then this is what we got.
Oh, I don't want to see that cut.
I can't believe that.
I don't want Burton cut.
I watched Horizon, the 3-hour thing that we talked about, the American Saga. I loved it. So I'm ready for.
I don't have a problem with long movies. I'm just look. What I can tell you is this: you don't mess around and be like, oh, we have a long movie, we gotta cut it down, and then you take out all the substantive parts.
Yeah,
like that's what it feels like. You know what I'm saying? It feels like they're like, okay, everything that explains something we're gonna remove. we're only doing sight gags, and you know, we're only putting, like, I guess the coolish kind of stuff. And
it's still over 2 hours long, man.
Was that movie more than 2 hours?
Yeah, it's like 2 hours and 15 minutes or something like that.
Yeah, okay, I didn't realize that.
Like one of our episodes.
Nah, not today.
We go a little long too.
Exactly.
Rated.
We're spending too much time on the topic.
I guess so. Yeah. I mean, Jay, what would you rate Beetlejuice?
I would give it a 4 out of 5. Like, overall, I did have a good time despite its failings.
Okay. Oscore, what would you rate Beetlejuice?
I think 4 is a good place. Like, I'm complaining about a lot of stuff, but I did enjoy the movie. I had fun.
Mm-hmm. Moses, what would you rate Beetlejuice?
At the end of the day, it was an entertaining movie, and I liked everything I saw in it. Even though like that wife character is, she still looked cool. Like
Mhm.
it's still
I
cool
agree.
shit to look at. So even if it was like some weird art film, which looking like that, it's still 4 out of 5 for me. Like
Mhm.
I've seen more complete stories that didn't entertain me as much. Yeah,
And that's fair. That's
yeah,
fair. I would give it 3.5, only because like I like story's a big deal for me, and this, while it does do some things pretty well, and there like were moments where I was like, oh wow, like they managed to get things to happen in the story in what I would think are interesting and clever ways. There were other parts of it where it's like it just doesn't go anywhere. And then I think the ending is really what sold it for me, where I'm just like, yeah, like this isn't like I liked it and I enjoyed it, but I can't, like, I don't know if I would recommend somebody necessarily go see it unless they're like hardcore like Beetlejuice fan, like for
yeah.
completionists, sure. But you know, yeah. Um
It's time
Taking
for.
Tugboat asks, "What do y'all think about the new Linkin Park singer?"
And this was a segment that we were trying to produce earlier in the week called Ohm, Oz's Heavy Metal Minute.
Yeah.
'Cause- Ohm.
Boom.
Yeah, I don't. It's a weird thing. Like, I'm not a huge fan of bands replacing singers and going on. Like Alice in Chains did it. I've heard those albums; they're good. Half the time Jerry Cantrell was doing backup vocals, so he should have just sang. But that's exactly what happened with the Black Dahlia murder. R.I.P. my boy Trevor back here. He when he committed suicide, they went on without him. They waited a year, and the guitarist that would do backup vocals became the singer. I still haven't heard their music. Like I don't know if I can.
Mm.
I don't know if I'm ready to move on yet. As a fan,
Right.
so I don't know. I don't know. Like from the reports I'm seeing, it's not just that. It's more of the chicks like past, like as a Scientologist and potentially being involved in some sex scandal or some shit.
She
But,
supported Danny Masterson.
oh, that's what it was.
Who's that?
Yeah,
Now she did address it,
yeah.
and she
Who is
said
that?
that
That's the guy from that '70s show. Hyde. He
Oh,
got me
got you.
too'd a lot.
he got convicted too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
she said, well, about him, they were friends, and she showed up to like one of his initial court appearances, but then stuff started coming out, and like she's
Yeah.
not with that. And about the Scientology thing, also he's a Scientologist, so that's how they kind of like putting all that together. With her, she said, she just went to a couple parties she was invited to, but it's not really her thing. So I don't know if it's true or not, but I haven't seen any evidence that like she's hardcore into Scientology. And that's only a problem because of their beliefs on mental health issues and psychiatry. And it seemed a little disrespectful because
To Chester.
Chester, was taken by mental health problems. And so there's a little bit of that. But after reading what she said, I'm a little bit more comfortable with her as far as those things. Like, okay, I'm gonna unless I see more evidence, I'm just gonna go with what she said because that's where the evidence leads me. As far as just her in general, and I'm speaking now because I'm actually the Linkin Park fan of the group.
Mm-hmm.
I like the new song. They introduced her in a live show, and the first song they did was their new song. She's a talented singer. Reminds me a lot of Courtney Love.
Mm.
So yeah, she's good. The new song sounds good. It's a little weird when she sang some of the original songs because they're about mental health, and Chester wrote them, and so there was a certain emotion that he put into when he sang those songs. Also,
Yeah.
like her voice is actually deeper than his. Like she can't hit. I hate to say it, but she cannot hit those high notes. That's fine. Not a lot of people can. It was just one of the things that I noticed, and it's just a little weird hearing her sing those songs. I wish they would have changed their name, even if they just put a 2.0 after Linkin Park. I would have preferred if they just used one of the older names like Zero, because the new album is going to be called From Zero or Hybrid Theory, or
they can't use Hybrid Theory
because that's one of their albums.
No,
there's another band.
There was another band called Hybrid Theory who came out before them.
That's probably why they changed it to Linkin Park.
That's why they changed their name to Linkin Park.
Yeah, but even if they just put the 2.0 at the end, I think I would have felt a little bit better. Some people think, because there's a couple cover bands whose singers sound just like Chester, but I don't know if I would have been cool with that either, because then it really sounds like they're trying to replace them instead of just moving on.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I wanted to pre-order the new album, but it's all physical media. And to be honest, the only CD player I have left is on my Civic, which I'm probably gonna trade in like a month or two. So I'm pretty sure that's gonna be gone. I couldn't find any.
Are you saying Linkin Park doesn't stream their music?
They do. They're like on Apple Music, and I assume they get paid for that, but it's not like I don't get charged for adding them to my playlist.
Oh, so you're just saying that you wanted to actually like support them?
Yeah, I wanted to support
by buying something
buy the album. I want to buy the album, but then like, what am I going to do with the CD?
But you pay for Apple Music though, right?
Technically, it comes standard with my because my Verizon plan has it as a perk.
Yeah. So it's getting paid. They're making money off of that.
Yeah.
Why don't you should get like an actual album, like a record.
But I'm not
buy a record player. Well, you don't listen. At the very least, an album has like some sort of like collectible kind of aspect to it, right? Like you even if you get like the album cover and you just put it out, it's like decoration. It's like you don't do that. We do that with a CD. You look like a fool. You know? They're like, why do you have this? But if you had to put out an album and you're a fan of the band or the group or the artist, it's like, oh, okay. Yeah. I'm sorry, what did that comment say? Or what?
Taking Tugboat was saying physical media is forever. Buy Laserdisc.
Hilarity.
Those vinyls might as well be Laserdisc.
Well, yeah, speaking of which.
Okay.
No, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, but that's the thing. Like, I feel like people have record collections and don't have record players, but I don't know anybody that has a Laserdisc collection that doesn't actually have a Laserdisc player still.
You can check them out, like maybe if they have a Bandcamp, because that's a way to support them directly. Like their money goes pretty much directly. If you want physical media, you get it. If you don't, you can get a downloadable. You could pay for a digital version of it that's like lossless, like FLAC file, and really get some real like good quality audio. And since we're on that topic, I'll do this unboxing that I had planned, which is like I got something in the mail the other day from a band called Bronze. In Chains and Shadows, their newer album came out in May. I didn't get it till August.
That album cover is like artistic too.
Yeah, it looks awesome. That's what I'm saying. That's
like a comic book cover almost.
Look, and that's exactly what I'm talking about. Which I don't know what Linkin Park's album looks like.
It's like pink color. You know that Hindu? I don't know if it's Hindu, but Indian tradition where they walk and you throw the powder and they come out all colorful. That's what it looks like.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
They got the CD. I got the 2 physical medias. Got a patch.
That's cool. No, it's a great cover. I love that.
Got a little magic. Yeah, I got a little Magic the Gathering card that they made for it. Yeah. And what else? Got that's packing shit. You can hear it. They got a bunch of little pins, like little these little pins.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh,
But,
hold on, I'll get you back there. Boom. Focus,
Pins,
camera,
I'm out.
focus.
yeah. And shirt. So
Yeah,
I
that's
mean,
cool.
I have no choice but to be a fan now because I just wanted to check them out. But I got it on Bandcamp, and it was like they had changed their name from Cramp to Bronze, and they had some backlash. And I'm like, ah, fuck it. I like their music when they were Cramp. The music is going more towards this like fantasy style now, and some fans aren't supporting them, so I will support them. So I bought that. I bought that for myself for my birthday this year, and for some reason, it barely came in the end of August, like because
Wow.
the vinyl pressers in Spain took too long. They had some problems with the artwork on the actual label that they put on it, and so the singer, she's like, "I'm a perfectionist. I'm not gonna send this out. So until we get it right, we're gonna send it out."
Now, why did they have to, or why did they choose to change their name from Cramp to Bronze?
It was a female fronted band, so everybody was making a correlation with the
Like menstrual
menstruation.
cramps.
Yeah, but
Jeez.
her whole it was spelled with a K, and hers was more. Her idea was
It was
more
like
like
Krampus.
kind of like that, but more like it's just a punk rock version of Cramp. Like Cramp is just a physical spasm that everybody gets. Like
Yeah.
your Jolly Horse, Charlie
Yeah.
Horse, or whatever. So
Yeah.
it's just a physical like impulse, So and people weren't getting it, and then they're giving her, and she's like, "Fuck it, like we're getting more into this like fantasy sword and sorcery metal anyway. So what's heavier metal than Bronze?" Yeah, and so they just switched it to that.
Mithril.
Yeah, but
Mithril. Dude, is there a
Yeah.
band named Mithril?
I'm sure there is.
Oh,
Like,
dude, that's actually a great
yeah.
heavy metal name. Mithril.
They're actually not that.
And we should start that group. What'd you say, Mo? I'm sorry.
No, I'm like, they're actually not that heavy.
Yeah, no, Mithril's actually light.
Yeah.
But it's stronger.
But-
yeah. Like,
Yeah. But no,
Yeah.
but I think it's a great name still. No.
Yeah. But yeah, and that's
But
one of the, you can do that like that. That whole thing cost me, it was $100 like for that package, and I'm like,
that's great.
I'm like, no, it's a easy way
CD,
to
T-shirt,
the record.
pins,
Yeah,
and the album. Yeah, that's a great deal.
it was those pins and the little Magic the Gathering card. Yeah, like that is actually. This is so you can download. It's a redeem code, so you can download the digital copy in that untouched format. That like
okay.
uncompressed format. But all that, like, I think it was just a patch. What I paid for was really just a patch. The record, everything extra came as a bonus. Oh yeah, taking Tugboat. This is I hung out with him on Labor Day. We had a wine and sausage tasting, and
Yeah, you did.
Whoa!
and I ended up with this hat. Yeah.
Whatever two men do in their own time is none of our business.
Hey, there was 3 women and 2 men.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow!
Hold on.
Didn't know y'all were into that lifestyle. So that's cool. Everybody got a little bit of sausage.
I had my fill of sausage. That's all that matters.
I bet you did, you nasty boy. It was your birthday, so you're welcome. No,
that was Labor Day.
Oh, I'm sorry. So
I work hard.
Yeah. What?
I work hard.
Got it. Got it. So obviously, as in true fantastic form, we got a bit derailed. I know. But we will get to our topics. But before we do that, we do have to acknowledge that we lost. I mean, one of the greats in the comic book industry recently, and what was a living legend as well. In the comic book space, we lost John Cassaday, who was the artist on like notable books like Planetary over at Wildstorm, and also Astonishing X-Men, the original well, I won't say not the original, but the Joss Whedon run of Astonishing X-Men, which, you know, was just an amazing comic book run and like one of the seminal kind of stories for X-Men as well. And yeah, he passed away at 52. And then we also lost James Earl Jones, which, you know, James Earl Jones doesn't need any introduction. Everybody knows who he is and what he and what he sounds like, because he always had that amazing voice. And so, you know, just want to offer our condolences to the loved ones of all of those folks, and just to, you know, say thank you to both of those gentlemen for all the work and joy that they brought to us. So, man.
What was your favorite performance for James Earl Jones? Like, I mean, aside from Darth Vader, but
aside from Darth Vader, I know,
yeah,
right? Because I mean, like, it's hard not to go there, right?
Like,
I mean, it's just like, oh man, it's so like so iconic.
Everybody's favorite James Earl Jones movie, you know, like, because he's a star in it, you know, like,
yeah.
So.
That, like, outside of that, dang, like, there's so many. I'm trying to think of like but what would really be my favorite? I mean, like, obviously, like my mind, when you asked me, my mind immediately went to Mufasa.
Yeah.
But I might like him better in Coming to America.
I was just about to say Coming to America.
Yeah, he was so good in Coming to America. And it's wild just because, like, you know, his role in Coming to America isn't like huge, but he looms big in that movie despite that. Like, every time he shows up, he's a presence. You know, as the king of Zamunda, you know? And I'm just like, man, like, yeah, so it might be Coming to America. But at the same time, I mean, like I remember like being in the theaters as a kid watching Lion King and watching like Mufasa die and just be like, oh my God. Like, you know, just like, oh no. And yeah, man, it's just like, again, like so many iconic moments with this guy, you know what I'm saying? So yeah. What about you all? What are some
Jay,
of the roles that you all like?
What's your favorite, Jay?
I don't, aside from Darth Vader, I don't know that I have one. I mean, he was pretty good in Field of Dreams.
Mm-hmm.
Like you said, as Mufasa was really good. Yeah, it's hard to pick.
I mean, he was great in like a lot of movies. Like, yeah, man, I don't know. Yeah, what about you two?
For me, it was him as Tulsa Doom. Like, it's just as in Conan, you know,
Conan,
like,
yeah,
with the whole like,
yeah,
turning into the snake. Yeah,
mm-hmm.
I love that as a kid watching that and hearing that voice again, because he's doing that. Like, he can't physically fight Conan, but that voice makes you feel like he can, you know, and that performance makes you feel like he can. Yeah, so it's tight. Yeah.
Oh man, what about you?
That's another good heavy metal band too, Tulsa Doom.
Yeah, you're right.
I'm gonna go with a Meteor Man. No, it's Coming to America. Like, dude has a presence. Like, he's the king, and he starts talking and like, I want to bow. Like, it's
right.
Just, yeah.
Right.
He's the voice of CNN.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah. And I know, I mean, wait, we did the story that he licensed his voice, right?
Yeah.
He did like something so that they could reproduce his voice with AI.
I don't know if he did it to Disney or Lucas, but they could. Yeah, he basically recorded, and, you know,
so they could have Darth Vader, like, Darth Vader stuff now.
And I think,
and that was that was good of him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Because like,
the
look,
deal, like financially, was a lot of money. And I don't know if they'll do residuals, but it takes care of his family for that point. Like when he dies,
right,
you know.
right. But and
Yeah.
that was the whole thing. I mean, in my mind, where because it's like one, James Earl Jones didn't need that money, and two, like he knew that he wasn't going to be spending it. So it's like that's something that he purely did to take care of his people and allow like that aspect of
His
the
legacy,
fandom to
yeah.
have that, So because like Lord knows, like I don't want anybody else to sound like Darth Vader. Like I don't even want anybody else to try if we can help it.
I was watching one of the news reports on his death, and it was like, I mean, they're fucked up for doing this, but it shows the truth. They're like goofing on the original guy's voice, Peter Cross.
Oh, yeah.
So they show the scene without the voiceover,
Yeah,
to show you the impact. But like, dude, still don't goof on that guy, because that guy, he posed like that too. Like it took
right.
two.
He did his part.
People. It took two people to play Darth Vader.
Yeah. I'm looking into chat. I see Taking Tugboat says R.I.P. to some legends. He also said both King roles in Coming to America and Lion King. Yeah.
James Earl Jones was 6'2" though. Like he could have been Vader in the outfit.
Especially then when he was young, because he was buff when he was young.
Oh yeah,
he was a boxer.
Unfortunately, it was the 70s. So
yeah.
And the thing is, by the 70s, he was already older too, so he probably wasn't as buff. Yeah,
that's actually kind of true, huh?
Yeah,
it probably would have been weird to say I'm your father and like takes off the helmet and like, well, I got questions.
Well, yeah, but listen,
no, but that was even
the guy that played Darth Vader, huh?
Yeah, the guy that was under the mask was a third guy that wasn't
right. Exactly, exactly.
It's like a third three people, Four now with
Hayden Christensen.
Hayden Christensen, yeah.
Well, they replaced guy number 3 that showed up as a Force Ghost.
Yeah,
yeah.
So
he was like, "That was my scene." But yeah, man. So, but yeah, again, like thank those folks, those gentlemen, for their contribution, man. Okay, let's do a review. You guys ready?
Yeah.
Comic book
review.
Comic book
Like review.
Well, not like that, but like.
All right. So, who wants to start telling us about Gotham City Sirens? Don't everyone talk at once. Hold on, like, wait, decorum. Everyone calm down. Okay, since you were the loudest, you can do it, Jay.
All right. Gotham City Sirens is about Punchline having a new scheme where she's using her exo punch to turn people into game avatars and inviting the wealthy to play as them or to hunt them in a kind of live action video game. And the different parts of this operation come into contact with Harley Quinn, Catwoman, and Poison Ivy, and they decide to go and do something about it. Outside of Gotham, by the way.
Right. Because if it was in Gotham, Batman would have been like, hey, that's me.
Well, no, just to say the Gotham City Sirens are not in Gotham in this series.
They're out here
just... Also, the killing stuff happens within Gotham City limits. It's just her where they make the product that's outside of Gotham. Because Harley is in the Gotham City Zoo when she runs into the cowboys.
She's in the Gotham City Zoo?
Or it's actually Central Park, their park or whatever.
Oh,
She's
okay,
taking the
gotcha.
dogs out for a poop.
Yes.
Like she's
the
not going out to the
hyenas.
boonies for that.
Right. That makes sense. So, Jay, what was your initial impression of this book, man?
My initial impression was I'm not sure I'm liking this art, and I'm not sure I'm liking this writing, and I'm not sure why there's so many like low angle shots.
There
Like
are a fair amount of low angle shots.
it's weird how many there are. Like,
Yeah.
and I think that's initially what I was thinking as I'm reading.
There's 2 artists for this 4 issues.
Well, no,
Correct.
incorrect. There are 4 artists for these series because
are?
two more people come and help for issue 4. So it starts out
Really?
with, yeah. I can get their names.
The bad one is Daniel Hilliard. I can give you that name while you look for the other
None of
one.
them are great.
You know what? Lolly. I can't find out the first name. Lolly was I was fine with.
Mateo.
It was Hilliard that like made me want to throw up a little bit.
Listen, I agree with Oz 100%.
While Jay looks for the
I got it.
artist.
In issue 4, it's Hilliard, Brandt, and Stein.
So somebody
are the
came in to
artists.
help Hilliard.
They did not help. Like,
Well, it's funny because I will say that I definitely noticed the difference because I liked the art in issue 1. Oh yeah, but this is Hilliard in issue 2, and I was just like, why does Harley Quinn look like that? Like it's almost like he was like, she hangs out with the Joker, right? So she has to look like Joker, right?
By the way, other stuff around. Well, I don't want to spoil, but like other stuff, like body wise, this is all fine. It's just the faces. I don't. They're all like scrunched together. Like even Poison Ivy is like scrunched together.
I think he probably had a bunch of like face assets that he like put in to blank heads, like just to make it faster on Photoshop. You know, like it just tweaked the smiles a little. You know? Because some like the eyes definitely look they look too like not disproportionate, but everything's too centered on the plane. And this is where you need like I know when we talk about like Mike Allred style art where he's or like when what was it? Not it was Mike Allred. It was the Satana where you don't see the cheekbones, but everything is still in proportion. Like you can imagine cheekbones there. Here you can't. If you drawn cheekbones, they would have no place to put the eyes. You know.
Yeah, and I'm looking at issue 4, and the Hilliard faces are still there.
Right. Look, I was shocked to find out that there were additional people brought in on the art for 4 because I feel like 4 is definitely the worst book. Like, like the art wise, which I'm just like,
except for one panel.
What one panel's that?
Is it the giant Poison Ivy?
Yeah.
We can't see it, Mo. You got to turn like the light is like you got to. I don't even think it's the
lens ain't trying to focus.
Yeah, no. Yeah. Like we can't see that at all.
But anyway, it was the giant like with the silhouettes of the people under it. Like I like the composition of that scene.
Is that
man?
4?
But
yeah,
I'll find that page. I'll put it up.
Okay.
Thanks, Oz.
Like page 16 or something.
But yeah, now and it's interesting because going back to Hilliard's art, like specifically for me, which don't get me wrong, like none of it is as good to me as Lolly's art was, but I think you can kind of get by with all of the characters except for Harley Quinn, and for whatever reason, Punchline. Like Punchline looked weird too. And I'm just like, why do they have these strange faces? Like, I don't understand. Like, it just doesn't make sense to me. So, and it's messed up because obviously, like, Punchline and Harley Quinn are two of the most prominent characters in this story. So, you know. Oz, can I ask you to help me out with something? Or actually, maybe, like, I say Oz just because you're our DC guy generally. But can someone give me, like, a quick, like, primer on Punchline? Like, I kind of missed I knew that she was there, but I didn't read any of those books. So I don't know, like, what Punchline's deal is at all.
First of all, Mo, this one?
Yeah, but at the bottom, like that, just that panel.
Yeah, it's all right. It's definitely one of the better parts of the book.
Well, what do you know about Punchline?
Zero.
Okay.
I know Punchline was like a Harley Quinn replacement, kind of initially, right, or something like that, or built like that.
Story-wise, she was a Joker fangirl.
Okay.
Brilliant chemist.
Okay.
So she knows how to mix chemicals and all that, and so she tried to impress the Joker. She didn't want to be like she becomes his girlfriend, but she saw herself more as a partner as opposed to a girlfriend or sidekick, which is what she considered Harley. Was involved in the Joker war, got busted. Then you get the Mercandolfo book where she has a trial and she tries to say, he manipulated me. The book that they reference in this story where she starts messing around with the nanotech is the Gotham game. That she takes over the Royal Flush Gang and starts using nanotech to kind of like mess with people's DNA and kind of mutate people. And also she learns a lot from the aces because they're all androids. And that's where she kind of starts she makes she makes a designer drug. And they mentioned she took over the docks. She had like a part of Gotham to herself that all got messed up. And so yeah, the XO Punch is kind of like a derivative of her designer drug mixed into an energy drink to also make you susceptible to the mind control.
Got it. Okay.
That's all new though, because it was just a drug.
Yeah.
But she always used social media to promote herself and to get attention to what she's doing. Like that Gotham game, like people use social media to know about what she was doing.
So the angle of her kind of doing like the influencer kind of thing is not, that's a part of her character.
Yeah, I mean, I don't like that she was doing the kiddie pool video gaming stuff.
Yeah,
because none of the stuff she did in the other books were like hypersexualized. And I can understand her using her sexuality to attract people, but also like live streaming for several hours is going to get the attention of the Bat family, especially if you're broadcasting what you're doing with the video gaming people getting shot thing. Like that's the flaw I see in her plan, was that she was live streaming it.
Okay.
If it was just something she was doing on the side and in the boonies, I can see how she would kind of like fly under the radar for a little bit. But the fact that the first issue you find out she's been streaming for hours, like actually like hunting people, it threw me.
Right. Is she just a brilliant chemist, or can she like fight or anything like that, or does she have any kind of like actual?
She can fight. I wouldn't call her like a martial artist. Like anybody in that family could probably take her down, but she can fight a little bit.
Okay.
Harley's not a trained fighter either.
Right.
She's more acrobatic, so they would be even. They could fight, but they're not. But she couldn't, like Batgirl would whip her ass quickly.
Got it. Okay. Mo, what did you think of this this version of Gotham City Sirens?
It was definitely like it was a fast read. Like it could have been just one or two issues, you know. Like I don't know why they not that they dragged it on or anything. It's just it went quick, and you know they had the what kicks it off, then the little investigation, and then two issues of the still like being at a head to head, and
Mm-hmm.
it's like yeah, I could have done it in two or three, and it's one of those like why did this book why did they want to put this out every week? Like they just wanted to get it over with, or what, you know? But I don't think I enjoyed it more than you guys did, or at least Jay. But I'm also I didn't read. I'm not a Gotham City Sirens reader like that, so I don't have anything to compare it to. Just some stories here and there. I know the characters, and the characters were fine. Some of the art I didn't like, but some of it I did, and I'm like, you know, I'm okay with it. I know for as bad as the art could be, that scene where she gets out of the kiddie pool, that was a good panel. It's like that's where he put all his energy into, you know. But you know, but that I'm noticing like he really like this is a real well detailed like all these artists that work here like that worked in this book. I would like to see them do just like pinups or a white cover, you know, like, and I think it would be better than this. I think here maybe there was a time crunch or something, and that kind of led to this. So this kind of quality, but overall, and then again, the story is just very straightforward, nothing too complex. Yeah, and it's odd that it would be this would be a weekly book, you know, like I would have taken just the OGN, you know, like just read it and you know check it out and be done. Yeah,
just kind of to Mo's point about her coming out of the kiddie pool. Hilliard does a horrible job with faces, but but when he does like a close up, like you could see where he took his time. And here I'm gonna share this just because I know as soon as he said it, I know exactly what he was talking about. Like, look at this panel. Look at this is a Hilliard panel.
Yeah,
yeah. You're right. That face looks great.
Face.
Yeah,
this looks good.
Yeah,
this whole page looks good. So yeah, you can see where he took his time. Like I said, this is a great panel. I wish more of his art looked like this.
And what really rubs the salt in the wound about good art is because you got the ads for DC versus Vampires, and you see Otto Schmidt art. Like they give you a preview. I think in issue 1 they give you a preview, and then the ads. Even this page too with the Jenny Sparks, like.
Yeah,
it's like, man, you're looking at this, and this isn't the best Jenny Sparks I've ever seen, but it's still like really, really cool, iconic art. Yeah. Where it's like, then you go back to the art in this book. Yeah.
No, I agree.
I have a problem with these guys being called the Nasty Boys.
Yeah,
it's weird.
They don't look like me and Larry.
Yeah, they don't look like Knobs or Sags.
But it's interesting because, like, generally speaking, I would say that I'm a fan of Leah Williams's writing. Leah Williams' writing. You know, she's done some things that I've liked more than others, but like. What threw me the most about her writing in this book was that, yeah, the story was kind of basic as far as like plot wise, but there's nothing wrong with that. But what I would expect in a plot where you have like, you know, you don't necessarily have like a whole bunch happening or not happening, but you know, like there's not a lot going on, like nothing complicated, nothing that, you know, is that you would have room to really showcase the character of the people that are in the book. And I don't feel like there's a lot of moments where we really get Harley or Poison Ivy or Catwoman's like personality coming through, you know? And it's like I couldn't say that as much for Punchline because I don't know what Punchline, like I don't have a base. So I'm like, as far as I know, this is what Punchline is always like. I don't know. But you know, I've read enough of those other characters that I'm like, you know, you get a little bit of it from Harley, but it's not a lot. It's more quippy as opposed to like, you know, like actual character driven type. Like, oh man, like Harley is like, you know, more of her like, you know, like in her Harley mode right now, or you know, or even like Catwoman. I'm just saying, like Catwoman sometimes, you know, it almost felt like the characters were just there to move the plot along, and the plot isn't extra interesting. So it's like, okay, like it's almost like, well, what is this book for then? You know, like we're not showcasing the Gotham City Sirens. That like it almost felt like you could have taken any other three heroes or villains or anti-heroes and put them in that spot and it would have been fine. And so I'm just like, man, that's kind of unfortunate because those characters are great, all three of them. And so, yeah, that I feel like that for me was like probably the most disappointing part of
And
the
it
whole thing.
technically introduced a fourth for this one, but it doesn't feel like that fourth could be with them, you know, like.
Yeah, and who is that character? Is that a character that?
Yeah,
like, I'm not familiar with that character. What's her name? Gianna? Yeah. What? Okay. Like
she was the one
that
was
where's
to do with the pig face, right? Or no? Like back in New 52.
Yeah, but do you know that character, Oz?
I know of her, but not like you don't see her a lot.
Okay.
It's one of those things like when you hear a song, it's like, oh yeah, I know that song.
Got
you
it.
can't name the artist or
right.
On,
Yeah. I'm just like, I don't know who that character is, and I'm like, okay, well, like, I get it. Like, you know, like everything I needed to know about the character, I did. Like, actually, I felt like I'm like, okay, like that's fine. But again, I have no baseline, so I'm not like, I don't know. I can't be like that character should be acting a little bit different. Like I didn't feel that way. But
White Rabbit is new. Like she just got introduced in 2011, and I had to look that up. It's I'm not gonna pretend like actually, you know,
listen,
came up with that.
Yeah, she was the chick that was with the dude with the pig face in one of those detective comics with I think it was like the David Finch Batman Detective Comics or something?
Just for context sake, we're like when you say new, we're talking about new comic character in like by comic character standards, like
I mean, 2011,
because 2011 is a long time ago for some people, right?
Not in comic books.
Yeah, I agree. Like she hasn't been around since the 30s, right? So I get it.
I don't think she's experienced a crisis yet.
No, there were crises, weren't there?
There's a crisis like every year.
That's funny. Okay. But yeah, man. So I don't know. Oz, all in all, like, what do you think of the story?
It was fine. It was fine enough to look. I don't know why more and more I'm getting into Punchline, and that might be the reason I read all four. Is because Punchline was in it. It's fine. It bugs me that the stuff that Punchline is doing is like major crimes and happening in Gotham, but none of the Bat family is involved. In fact, the only reason Harley and any of the Sirens get involved is through accident, really. It opens with Harley walking her hyenas to poop, and just happens to run into some of the avatars or whatever you want to call them, and is just perturbed enough that now she wants to murder something and gets involved. And like I said earlier, if she's live streaming something like that, I feel like somebody in the Bat family would get involved, especially if this, because they mentioned the Gotham game stuff, and if this happens right after the Gotham game, then Batman would she would definitely be on the Bat family radar at that point. They'd be looking for her because she hasn't done time for what she did.
Yeah.
Yeah. Other than that, just as a story by itself, it's 4 issues. I agree with you. I don't know why they came up with this or why they released it. I don't regret reading it because I like Punchline, but I didn't need it. You don't have to read it.
Yeah. Heck says, is conning simps out of their money a major crime?
That's not what she was doing. What she was actually doing is through her energy drink, she was mind controlling people. And if you're playing the game, your avatar isn't a video game avatar. You take control of one of these people and shoot other people. Now, they don't die because the nanotech would heal them and bring them back. But you're still taking control of a person and shooting other people.
Right.
And none of this is consensual. It's not like they said, okay, sure, pay me this much money and I'll be your avatar. They were just zombie mind wiped and taken over.
Yeah.
Heck says diabolical. I saw a similar story in NCIS.
And yes, Amaranth is a super criminal.
What? So, yeah. Okay. So, I mean,
Lawrence,
I don't know.
Who Amaranth is. Yeah. You're not plugged into the universe.
I'm not plugged into the universe. I am unplugged from the universe. Should we? I mean, does anybody else have anything to say about Gotham City Sirens?
Quiet about this.
Before we
like I said, I didn't really enjoy the art or the writing. It was the word basic was tossed out there. Lawrence brought up a good point where you don't really get a good feel of these characters. It just, and maybe I am just being nostalgic for the OG Gotham City Sirens, but they don't even seem to have any good chemistry together. They're all kind of just there. Even Harley and Ivy, who have the most chemistry, it doesn't feel great reading it. And yeah, I was gonna ask, I know Leah Williams has done a bunch of X-Men stuff. Is this the general quality of her writing?
I don't think so. I mean, I feel like she's definitely had, she's had some hit and misses, and don't get me wrong, her writing isn't for everybody. Because, for instance, she was on the not this current run, but the run previous, the Krakoa era run of X Factor. And I personally really liked that book. And she also did the Trial of Magneto. And, when you're talking about characters being featured and also having chemistry, I felt like that book featured that kind of aspect really well. And so I'm like, okay. And I, in my mind, I'm like Leah Williams can do this. It's not I didn't feel like the characters in that book were something that she was all super familiar with, or they weren't her babies or anything like that. So I'm like, okay, she has to be as familiar with Harley Quinn and Catwoman and Poison Ivy as she was with those characters. Like we're talking about like very random X-Men.
Like even if
You
she like
know?
even if she tapped into like her own personal bias or something of characterization, like from the animated series or something.
Mm-hmm.
As a comic book writer, I don't know how old she is, but I assume she's around our age. She probably grew up watching the same stuff, so she knows at least to do it at least that way, if anything,
Right.
right?
Yeah, no, absolutely. Like, I mean, I think like, yeah, she should like I honestly I was shocked, like reading the book, that I was just like, why is this feel so generic? So yeah, she was born in '88. So
Yeah, so she's even younger.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. So
she missed out.
she but yeah, so I know, but I would not say personally, I wouldn't say that this is like indicative of her writing to me, because I know when I saw that she was writing this book when we decided to do it, I was looking forward to it because I was just like, oh, cool. When Leah Williams doing Gotham City Sirens, that feels like she's gonna knock that out the park more likely than not. And I'm just like, yeah, I think I guess it's serviceable. It definitely kind of felt like the kind of thing where, like, how you mess around and you're like, oh damn, I have to write that paper. It kind of gives that kind of vibe to it to me, where oh goddamn, I gotta write that miniseries. That joint is due next week. I told him I would have a draft. I'm like, oh, I don't know if that's what happened, but it kind of gives that energy to me. So I'm like, well,
okay. In either case, I just was not feeling it.
Yeah. So, dude, Jay, why don't you go ahead and rate Gotham City Sirens for us?
I would give it a 2. Like, I kind of see what the art was trying to do at some points, and except for those low angles, I don't get that at all. But the story, yeah, it never all comes together. And even if I can see the pieces and see what they were trying to do, the fact is it doesn't come together.
Yeah. Okay. Oz, what would you rate Gotham City Sirens?
Probably gonna also go with the 3. It's a basic story. The art on 2 of the 4 books is garbage, but
damn,
I get to see Punchline in a bikini, and that's where that one artist took all his time.
There it is.
I appreciate that.
Moses Magnum, what would you rate Gotham City Sirens?
Yeah, I'm with Jay, like a 2. I appreciate the ease of reading. Like I read 4 issues like that, Like even when I saw you today earlier, I was like, yo, maybe we should have read a second book,
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Right.
But I thought, like, if we're doing a whole series, usually when we do these, I hadn't read it yet, but usually when we do a full series, it takes and even this took a good amount of discussion, like, but we could still knock in. Yeah, I think it was a good call. I made no mistake.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I give it a 2.5. Like it's just one of these things where at the end of the day, it doesn't feel consequential. And, and that's unfortunate because it's not like Gotham City Sirens, at least that I know of, has like they have a book, like an ongoing right now. So, I'm sure that those characters are out somewhere, like in one of the Bat books, like regularly or semi-regularly. But I know that there's like a fan base for like these characters. And I know people like, I know folks that are fans and would like be happy to read a good story about these characters together. And, I know for me, I'm like, dude, like, I don't even know if I would recommend this to Gotham City Sirens fan. I feel like, I'd be like, you're gonna be disappointed. So it's like, yeah, and it's like there's nothing like significant that happens in it that it's like, well, you got to read it at least just to find out about this. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's no like, I don't like. If you're a fan of any of these characters, I don't know that anything in this book happens that's going to be of consequence down the line, which kind of sucks from a comic perspective, where it's just like, oh yeah, you could just completely skip that. So, yeah.
The mascot was cute, though. I forgot about her.
What was it? Pippi?
Yeah.
Is it Pippi or Pai Pai? I don't know. Yeah. Look, it's mad that I remember. Like, that's one of the significant portions of the book, apparently. I'm just like, yeah. I will give props to the idea of XO Punch as an energy drink name. I'm like, that's cool. I like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I'd seen something like that on a shelf, I'd be like, I'll pick that up just to see what it's like. So, and then when it was like, because I didn't, at least if I did know, I didn't remember that it was gonna be a Punchline story, and so then I saw it was Punchline doing it, and I'm like, oh, I was like, that's cool. I'm like, damn it. I was like, that's probably the most interesting part of the whole story. Where I'm like, you know what? I need to know more about this XO Punch. What does that taste like? You're like, how much energy am I getting exactly? Can I see the back of the can, please?
Is it from
that?
If it's synthetic, or is it from guarana seed?
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. What's the sweetener used in XO Punch?
Punchline is all synthetic.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Really?
Right. All right. Let's do some news.
We should have a like current. Well, not like that, but like.
All right. Let me start by just mentioning a couple books that came out today. I think they came out today, if I'm not mistaken, that I thought might have be of particular interest just to some members here of the Fantastic Forum, even though I think it's worth talking about in general. Oz, were you aware that there was a book coming out today called Nightwing Uncovered?
Ooh, like porno?
Look, I guess depends on how you want to define porno.
You know.
Nightwing Uncovered is actually a Nightwing book that is just a Nightwing cover gallery, but it's a comic that is actually like being sold.
It practically is porn.
Like, this is what I'm saying.
The cover is like,
Well, I think the cover of it is the ass shot, right? Like,
no, it's a crotch shot.
I'm not sure if it's that actual shot or not, but
it's a crotch shot though. Here I can.
But yeah, but what I'm trying to figure out though is like, is this like this is literally just Nightwing covers sold as a book? It's like, is there an audience for that? And has that ever happened before with a different comic book character where it's like legit just covers? Because I know like back in the day they would do like the swimsuit specials for comic book characters or whatever, and so it'd be like it's like pinups. So and I know that like I feel like they did it for X-Men. I think they did it for like Witchblade and things like that. That was like the 90s though, so it's different times, right? Like I don't know. I think they actually did come out with one of those either semi-recently or maybe it was a reprint of the old one. I don't remember. But again, this is just the cover galleries being sold as a book. Like like Oz, obviously you're a huge Nightwing fan. Would you be like, oh, you see this in a comic book store, and would you pick that up?
No, if it's just covers, no.
Yeah, there's no story. Like there might be a page that has like comic bubbles on it or something, like word bubbles on it, but I think it's like legit just covers. So I was just like, you know, and I get why you would do it for a character like Nightwing, but I'm just like, doesn't there need to be like what comic fan is like, I'm just gonna buy that, all the covers, like, is there any character?
For, like, there are characters and or books that I would buy it for.
Like who, Jay? Like who's a character, or what book would you get like a comic that is just the covers of that book?
You said what book or what character?
Yeah, either or. Like what would make you, or what would be like, oh, I would entertain buying that? Because I'm just curious, because I was like, huh.
I would do a Jubilee cover book.
Oh, well. I mean, listen, you don't want to just go buy those 4 comics?
Yeah.
I'm just saying. It's like, I don't know, Jay, man.
My favorite is that old Joe Mad one where like Xavier walks again for a little briefly, and like that's a really good cover for her, and it's her and Xavier, you know.
Yeah.
But it's the story is just her talking to Xavier, and he gets to walk again. But yeah. It's a good book.
Yeah. I have favorite characters, obviously, but I'm like, I couldn't think of a one that I would just be like, oh yeah, I'll take just the covers. Like, if you want to give that to me, like if that's like a free comic book day thing or something, I would take it. But I don't know that I would mess around and be like, yeah, like I'm gonna go buy that, which I was blown away, because I mean, it's like a regular comic price too, right? Like, I think the pricing was like, you know, like standard comic, like which I'm just like, well, no, I don't think it was $5.99. Was it $5? Is that what it is? Or because I was hoping, I was thinking it was like $3.99, but I hope I'm right about that. If it's $5.99, then that's robbery. It's like, why does DC hate their fans? They're like, let's see what we can get away with. So
yeah, $5.99. That was right.
That's crazy.
It's 40 pages.
40 reprints. It's like, that's funny, man. That's crazy. Anyway,
dude, if they did it for Batgirl,
you buy that?
Yeah. Batgirl
has some great covers. Yeah, I agree, but
and I mean, like the not Barbara. I'm talking about
girl.
why am I blanking on her
Spoiler?
name right now? Not Stephanie.
Oh.
Before her.
Oh, the
Why
quiet
am
chick?
I blanking? Yeah. The mute girl.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's her name? Oz?
I'm blanking on that girl's name. Cassandra.
Oh yeah, Heck put it in the chat. Yeah.
Cassandra. Like, I would buy a book of her covers.
Okay. Yeah, Cassandra Cain. Okay. So the other book that
had good covers too, but hers were like really striking.
Mm-hmm. And the other book that came out today that, you know, I was like, oh, okay, like I couldn't quite remember if we talked. Like I feel like somebody might have mentioned it in a news story, maybe back in the day.
That's the best Grayson cover ever. By the way, this is like 3 different Grayson covers combined. This is one on its own, and this is another. This is a classic. I actually did a painting similar to this.
Did you put that Nightwing symbol there, or that was on the cover?
I put it there just to kind of imply that, you know, he's letting it all hang out. You kind of like this, like is that a muscle, or is that, you know?
That's the print. That's the print. So the other book that's coming out that I was like, I should mention is today, I think, came the Scott Pilgrim coloring book. And so it's a reprint, but it's like an oversized version of volume 1 of Scott Pilgrim that is made, so that people could color it. And so I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. Like, that's interesting. The idea that, it's like a version of it made for that.
But what kind of paper is it? Is it like that newsprint? Like use crayons?
Right. And this is the thing, because I was like, I had that exact same question. And I was like, let me go see, like, if I can find out, like, what the inside of it looks like. Like, I was just trying to find just even a picture. And I couldn't find any pictures of the inside of it. Because I was also curious about, like, are they, like, just straight up reprinting the book in the black and white and you just color it in? Or are they getting rid of some of the lines? Or, like,
like the gray tones?
Working?
Yeah.
Yeah. And so I could not find not one picture of the inside of the book.
Because depending on what the paper style is, like, I might get it, like, because I've been wanting an excuse to buy, like, Copic markers and all that shit. So it's like, fuck, I'm gonna do that. Even if I just do one page, like, it'll be worth it for me.
And listen, and I was just like, oh, okay, like that. It actually seems pretty cool. Now that I think was like maybe like $17, but like I said, I think it is oversized,
right?
So
and usually those adult coloring books are like 30 and shit too. So it's not, and they're not as cool as like this, like where it's actually like a reprint of the first volume.
Yeah. So I was like, that's interesting. So I was like, I should just mention that because I know that is something that you all like. And it's funny because I came across both of those because they both came out this week, and I was like, who would buy that Nightwing joint? Because I'm like, I wouldn't buy something like that. And there are plenty of comic book characters and amazing covers that I would be like, I could. No, that I just like, they're just not amazing enough for me to buy a book like that. But then I saw the coloring book joint and I was like, I would get that. Like I would get a Scott Pilgrim coloring book. And I don't even know if I would actually color it. I would just like maybe want to have it.
Just read it again.
Yeah, like, just like an oversized Scott Pilgrim. Seems like a fun idea. But,
another new comic book news, but this book's not out yet. It'll be out, I think, in October or something like that. But they're gonna release Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man prequel comic.
Yeah,
and it's a prequel to the upcoming show. Christos Gage is gonna be writing it, and the covers look pretty cool. The art looks pretty cool. I wonder if how the cartoon. I haven't seen any of the cartoon art, but let me see if I can share the covers with you. Let's see.
Yeah. Heck said, if I had easier access to a comic shop, I'd pick it up. There are some good Nightwing covers. Oh, well, there you go.
That's one of the covers right there. Homage.
Yeah, classic.
Yeah. And then the other one is pretty cool too, but let me see if I can.
Part of the problem with the covers book is like you can't really display it. Like whatever your favorite cover is, you can't display it. Where if you actually bought the book, you can frame that and just have that up there.
Yeah. And I think that's an important point, Oz, because if you were able to make a cover book that you could display whichever one of those covers you wanted, which I don't know how you would do that, but if there was a way, now that's a whole different discussion you're having. Because it's almost like
the book digitally, you can make your own slideshow and just put it on a little SanDisk card and get your own little digital frame and have it on your coffee table and just go cycle through all your favorite covers.
Yeah, not even on your coffee table. They have like wall frames for that now too.
Yeah.
Or if you use Google, you can get the cover like that too. I mean,
yeah, but the resolution, like the resolution diminishes. Like
You don't feel like you can't find a high resolution copy of a comic book cover on the internet?
We're trying to keep the comic book business alive here, Larry. Like, yeah. Like,
listen, I'm just sitting here. You're all talking about digital pictures. I'm talking about real comics.
Yeah.
Listen, I agree with you. That's why I'm like, if you want to figure out a way to make that joint like practical, then yeah, I'm with you on that. Because like I don't know how.
Well, I guess that's what Distillery's kind of doing, where the shit's like an NFT, where it's still digital, but you own it and you can sell it and you can show it how. Well, I don't know if you can show it however you want, but
yeah.
I have a bunch of like they gave me a what's a ash can, digital ash can that I can sell. Like it's gonna be big.
It's gonna be big, bigger than the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
So
that's the other cover right there that you're seeing, and I like this design. Like this is one of the if you're doing like a retelling and everything, and the homemade design. I kind of like this. Like it still looks rudimentary. Like he hasn't worked out all the kinks on these web shooters. So he's got little hoses on it. He's got sneakers.
Right.
I kind of like this. So I wonder how the cartoon's gonna be. But
I hope it's good.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, honestly, Marvel Animation's been pretty decent lately. So it's like, here's hoping. But
well, that's the thing. That's when they're due for a fucking clunker.
There it is, keeping it positive. I know.
Well, it is one of the positive days of the year.
Yeah. I know the last thing that I wanted to mention to you all was, have you all heard about what's the name of this joint? I'm sorry.
I thought you were trying to keep
Pokemon. No. Pokemon TCG Pocket.
No, what is that?
So Pokemon TCG Pocket is basically a Pokemon mobile game, but people are basically saying like it's kind of like the Pokemon folks kind of picking up on what Marvel and Second Dinner have done with Snap, and kind of making a Pokemon game in that vein, so where you can do like matches, like card matches and card battles, but like each game takes like 5 minutes.
Yeah, but is it like a new structure or is it the classic trading card game? Because the trading card game itself is
it's not even
a lot more like Magic than Snap.
Larry, what the fuck?
What? I'm telling you about it.
I just downloaded it and
putting it on your radar.
Yeah, and now it says coming soon. I'm like, I'll tell you right now what it is, and I'm trying to open it and it won't open. Like it's not out yet.
I'm on their website.
It doesn't come out till next month.
And like swiping to open packs.
Yeah, so
I feel like it's gonna be the old Pokemon trading card game, which is a lot more complicated than Snap.
Well, but this is what I'm telling you is,
if I can scan my old cards into it, I'm in.
October 30th is when it's released, by the way.
Damn it. I'm going to have to miss the birth of my nephew.
You could be there on your phone.
Yeah, but that would be rude.
So better just not show up. But yeah, so like I know that Pokemon generally, like as a card game, it runs under a whole kind of different rule set. This supposedly is going to be quicker matches. So I don't know how they're planning on streamlining the rule set. And even like in the trailer, because there is a trailer for it, they kind of show battles, but they show it quickly. They kind of lean more in on the collectible aspect of it. So like you said, like you swipe and you open up packs of cards. I think they give you like 2 packs a day for you to just open.
Ooh.
And then you build up your collection over time. So, I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm sure there's going to be microtransactions and all that kind of stuff so that you can get cards quicker or get maybe specific cards. But I just thought it was interesting that not one that, you know, they're making like another Pokemon mobile game just because I know they already have one. But then two, the idea that they were going to...
There's a couple.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
But two, that they're kind of incorporating the whole like Snap quick match kind of development thing, which I'm just like, man, like Snap is out here affecting Pokemon, which I'm like, that's crazy. So, because it's like, Lord knows, like Pokemon, they've been doing this card game thing for forever. So
I guess
I don't need
by
this.
the way,
Anymore.
I was a Pokemon player, so I know the card game. And I'm watching the trailer now, and it doesn't look like it's going to need most of the trailer is people opening packs and getting specific cards. Like it's not there's like a half a second of gameplay. And
I agree.
Gameplay, it looks like it might be more along the lines of the actual card game, which like I compare it to Magic, but I guess it would be more accurate to say it's a little bit more it's a little bit more like Yu-Gi-Oh, which is kind of like a simplified Magic format.
Mm-hmm.
I know,
but that game
Pokemon came before all of them, right?
No. Yu-Gi-Oh, I think is well, I think they're probably around the same time.
There's Magic and then Yu-Gi-Oh, and then I think Pokemon the card game. The anime or the manga might have come first.
They have immersive cards where it's like where you can like they kind of connect into one environment.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck.
Yeah, no, they're doing some cool stuff.
Like I wanted it to be out now.
Yeah, I mean, I'll try it. We're only a month and a half away.
Next time, just tell me. Next time, just tell me when it's out.
Okay, well, you're right. Look. If you had found out about it on your own, you'd be like, "Why didn't you tell me?"
Oh yeah, if it was out.
Well, hey, now you have something to look forward to for the end of the next month, Mo.
What if I get hit by a bus?
It's like the day before Halloween too. Like he's got
you could take it
and stuff.
Yeah. All right. Anything else y'all want us to talk about before we get out of here?
Just one more thing because I thought it was interesting and it made me think of Mo.
Okay.
There's a Marvel branded protein powder out there now.
Yeah. I had their was it electrolyte drink like a Gatorade. It's
a Marvel electrolyte drink.
Yeah, they teamed up with Arizona and did that. And then what's the protein? What's the?
It's here. I'll share the screen. My protein.
Yeah.
I guess is the company, and so they have the the Captain Marvel, which is pineapple mango. They have the Black Panther, which is mixed berry, and the Spider-Man, which is berry watermelon. Okay, so that's Miles.
Listen, I'm just happy that the friggin' Black Panther one wasn't grape. I was like, if this fool says grape, we're gonna riot.
And
so they're isolates. Okay.
Yeah, it's way isolate. If whoever knows what these things mean, 20 servings. I think what it says up here. Yeah, 20 grams of protein, 0 sugar, 4 grams of BCAA.
Okay,
whatever. I'm not a chemist.
Yeah.
Yeah, tapping that untapped buff Marvel comic book reader fan base. This is how you know it's mainstream, by the way. Like it's protein powder.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that, but those flavors, I don't know if those flavors seem more like I don't know if
I guarantee the mixed berry is grape. It's just the
no. My thing is more like those taste better in a clear drink, like a intro workout or a post workout drink, not as a protein shake. So they might not be milky. They might be clear, which is cool, I guess. But
it does say clear on the top, right?
No, yeah, I guess, yeah.
Yeah, it says clear whey isolate.
Yeah,
Honestly,
Alright.
I don't know what that means. I always get
I don't know what that
vanilla
means
and I
either.
mix it with milk.
Yeah.
So
Alright.
there you
Yeah,
go.
so clear whey isolate. Yeah, I guess it's water. You mix it with water and it's like juice, but protein. Alright.
Interesting.
Look,
$26.99 for 20 servings.
now I have a reason to film myself working out. I can test these out, see how it works.
There you go.
Because they are isolates, so whey isolates usually work better because you can have them with food to
Now-
like complete your
these
protein
three
absorption.
are whey isolates, but then this
Yeah.
fourth one up here is impact whey.
That's
It's
probably
like
the
a malted
milkshake. Yeah.
It's cheaper, but it's less servings. Like these three are 20 servings. This one's only 15. But
And
it's like $10
all
cheaper.
it is, it's a bigger scoop. It'll probably be the same size. It's just a bigger scoop.
I thought about that because like I can see the weight of these three is 1.1 pounds, but this one is like 1.25 pounds.
Yeah.
But it's less serving, so it's probably a bigger scoop, like you said.
Yeah, I did that with one of my creatine powders. It's like that, where it's like you get 8 grams of creatine, and it costs the same as the other one, but it's just it's just a bigger scoop, and I'm not taking the 8 grams. Like I don't need to put on 4 times the muscle as the other one, so I just use the old scoop, and I got my discount. Some old deal. Get that CVS Extra Care. I got that shit for $10. Knocked it down from 30 to 10. Yeah.
There it is.
All right, maybe I'll get it and I'll film myself naked.
Yeah.
Like
oh
before and
jeez,
after.
like he's gonna be
Like
in
I
those
said,
Nightwing
if you
covers
lived
soon.
here, I could set up the tripod.
Whoa, listen, hey, y'all can taste sausages.
We'll show you how to fence.
Lightsaber battles.
All right, folks.
It ain't light.
Jay, why don't you give us some final thoughts, buddy?
Got nothing for you today.
Dang, it's okay, Jay. Look, we're happy you're here. Oscor, give me some final thoughts, buddy.
I do have a couple packages arriving in the next couple of days, but obviously, like I can't. They'll be filmed at the new location. I don't know what it's gonna look like. I know what the location looks like, obviously, but it's
behind a house sight unseen.
Like I've seen it, but there's a lot of work to be done. And
got it.
So ignore the backgrounds. The statues will be the focus, but yeah, I have a Power Girl coming up soon, and some Supergirl that I've printed some stuff that I gotta paint. So a lot of stuff coming up. Like, subscribe, do all that, and yeah, dude, join our OnlyFans and get before and after naked pictures of me after the protein. Now that I know that's a thing. Playing the trading card game.
Most
look at my Charizard.
Yeah, subscribe, like, hit the bell. Yeah, and yeah, we'll see you next time. Subscribe, because I think I will review that. Like, there's a reason to review protein on it.
Yeah.
I'll go
There it
talk
is.
to some buff guys about it, see what they like it, how they like it.
There it is. Hey, as always, we thank you for your support, and we're the Fantastic Forum. Good night.